being located in the Music City. This building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception, but this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Ward throwing to start the drive. That's complete to Traylon Burks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
That's a good start to the ball game. Maybe a little bit of a tone setter offensively. They come out throwing right away, and it's an early completion and a quick first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Second and 13. And it's complete right back to Ridley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And just like that, it's third down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
He gets this one to Burks. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 43. 12 yards on third down as the drive rolls on. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
Joe Tryon there to make the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Second down, Pollard again. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now a give here to Pollard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Here's Pollard again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Second and 11. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. Back to throw. Ward. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Myles Garrett coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. So not only do you not get the first down, but you've also made things a lot more difficult on your field goal kicker.
Yeah, they're still in range, but you're exactly right because you know the kicker's over there saying, thanks a lot. You just made my job a little tougher because when he kicks it now, he'll kick it lower because he's got to get more distance. That means there's more jeopardy for the ball to get tipped or blocked.
No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And the Browns getting set to go. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They will start this drive with Ford. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd and 3. Over the middle, that's caught by Woods. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. His first pass attempt of the game, Charles, and the pass rush was right there to hit him. But no fear, he delivered an accurate ball. Nice catch.
And you never want to see your quarterback getting hit, but it also sends a message to the rest of the team when he's able to take that shot and still deliver downfield. Showing a little toughness, and the team rallies around it.
To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. 20. 5. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position to be in the right spot, as he was there to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing after the interception. Sanders. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 2. Looking to throw. Sanders right back to Njoku. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Again, they turn to Ford. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3rd down and 6. Back to throw. Sanders. He sets to fire deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it, but that one was incomplete.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Off play action. Ward. A shot downfield for Burks. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
Now a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Ward. Toward the sideline, intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, they matched their opponent's pick 6 from earlier. Those are some crucial points that may prove pretty consequential as to how this one plays out.
And, Brandon, I think now we're not just watching how they move around the field, but we're checking their psychology out a little bit, aren't we? Because that defense, they're about to go right back out with all the momentum on their side. As for the opposing offense, you wonder if there's going to be some hesitation to lean entirely on the passing game to try and mount a counterattack.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays. The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off the play fake. Ward. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But 2 good plays on this one, Brandon. The first one at the quarterback because the pressure affected his throw, and I think it forced him to throw away from his designated target. And how about the second bit of pressure downfield? Receiver going up for the pass, helping force that incompletion.
Ward now. Off play action. He's got his target. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A nice throw from the rookie out of Miami, and it's going to be good for a 1st down.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun. Ward. Over the middle into the hands of Burks. His 4th catch already in this 1st quarter. It's a 1st down. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Option play, here's Pollard. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's into the secondary. And it's a Titans touchdown. Chigakonkwo, an 11-yard touchdown as his guys are able to extend their lead. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is, what, 3 to 1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll begin by running the option. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. That's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
2nd and 5. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
This is caught. It's Woods. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Hands it off out of the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Sanders gets this over the middle to Tillman. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He'll get this complete to Tillman. And he is going to have a Browns first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit them quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And the Browns are going to have what looks to be a 1st and goal as he'll take this down to the 10-yard line.
For the guys playing defense, this has been a really long drive, and physically, that's awfully taxing. But I think the hardest part is mentally. What do you do?
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
He gets this down to the 3. Brought the power run out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here's Sanders. Gonna throw on 3rd and goal. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Hopkins' kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, They just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down. Operating from the gun. Ward. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
2nd and 4. On the slant, Burks. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
In motion, the tight end. Back to throw now on first down. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. From the 20, here's 2nd down and 1. Looking to throw. Ward. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Off play action. Ward. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
That pass taken in by Burks. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. To throw is Ward, operating from the gun. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Here's Ward from the gun on 3rd down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. They'll look to throw again. Touchdown! Calvin Ridley. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Titans go up by 2 touchdowns. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead now up to 14. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least 1 practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them, not easily done.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Sanders. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now Ward throwing to start the drive. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Ward. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He'll complete this one. PieceCtrlGhosty. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Back to throw again. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Here we go on 4th down. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a gain of 6, and that will be the final play of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Well, now how about this return? And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, He had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
In motion goes the tight end. The handoff to Ford up the middle. Runs through the contact. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Out quickly to Judy. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter, and the entire fourth remaining, so stranger things have happened.
Right back to Judy, and it's complete. So the completion good for just 3, and it'll be second down. Off the play fake. Sanders. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, 26 yards. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because
the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. They run with Ford. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum. Or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top. Or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with. Because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Open man, he completes it to Judy. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This is Ford. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Back to throw. Sanders. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. Hopkins' kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, you need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in 1 play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well because it's not quite no harm, no foul, but the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Running right, it's Pollard. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Ward from the gun on 3rd down. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Sanders. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd and 11. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll get 34 yards there. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They'll try and run for it with Ford. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerome Ford taking it in from a yard out. And the Browns have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back in the lead.
Back in the lead, like you said, back to the basics.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Back to throw. Ward. And he floated one out there incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Ward. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Open man, that's Tillman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Over the middle, complete to Judy. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
On the ground, it's Ford. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw is Sanders. Off the play fake. Completes the pass to Judy on the crossing pattern. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Well, a clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Jerome Ford, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Browns are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive.
You're in the fourth quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here, they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Ward now, throwing to start the drive. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Returning right back to Lockett. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Drops this underneath for Pollard. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. In motion comes the tight end left. 2nd and 5. Short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll look to throw now on first down. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
To throw is Ward. From the gun, he'll throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 6. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Sly able to put this one through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Sanders. That's going to be caught by Judy. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Looking to throw. Sanders. That's caught left side by Judy. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 3rd down, Ford. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 58 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Back to throw now on first down. And that one too wide and incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Back to throw. Sanders. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So now the Titans down by 7. A minute 52 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. He's back to throw. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively at second down. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away as we just saw there.
Back to throw.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
Well, this defense needing a stop here. Got to have it. 3rd and 9.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Gets it to Burks.
And all the way down to the 39. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon.
Now 2nd down and a few inches.
Back to throw. It's caught. Block it. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
This is 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Nashville, good night, everybody.